láyé pa o. Yéé pa ó bàtà 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 láyé pa o. Yeah.
Ba yingi yingi baraba yingi o yingi ba yingi yingi baraba yingi o yingi ba yingi baraba yingi o yingi ba yingi baraba yingi o yingi yingi baraba yingi o yingi ba yingi yingi baraba yingi o yingi
share la flare to each and every one. You know, we are here on another beautiful night. Olodumare has granted us the life and the opportunity to be here on the Street 919 FM. Iwer, shall we have life? Myself, MC Duke Alatomi Sheet, my brother, my host, as always, King Shaka. You know, it's, sometimes you find that the show we might do reruns because we are workers. We have jobs and we have it to do, and there are policies and rules in the studio here. We just can't take and tell somebody come and hold on to run the show, and we want that sense of respect, that honor, and that truthfulness as we always try to bring across on this show. So we are here on the Street 919 FM Ifa Orisha Way of Life. We are streaming live on Facebook, the Street 19 FM Facebook page. You're also streaming live on YouTube, Iwer TV. You know, you can go onto YouTube, and those of you listening on Radio Land, listening in your vehicles, in your home, in your spaces, whatever, may we be blessed. May we give Olodumare, our ancestors, and the Orishas thanks for being able to do this today. So I pay my respect to the owner of heaven and the spirits of the earth. I pay my respect to the King of the world, he whom we praise first. As I give reverence to Orunmila, the spirit of destiny, I pay my respect to the 16 wombs of the world and their messenger, whom we call the youngest one, the dearest one at the crossroad of the worlds, whom we call Eshu. I greet the powers of the east, I greet the powers of the west, I greet the powers of the south, I greet the powers of the north, I greet the king in the city of love. I give homage to the winds in the invisible realms. I give homage to the owner of earth, I who am just a child of mystery, I who am grateful. We give homage to the spirit of the mountain. We give homage to the spirit of the ocean. We give homage to Akoda. We give homage to Asida. We give homage to the spirits that move the world. We give homage to the bones of my blood, for all that representing being the pillar for what we are. Between worlds, we give homage. We give respect to our fathers and mothers, to the owner of heaven and earth, to our Ori. We give homage to Onmelia, the spirit of destiny. We give homage to Iku, the spirit of death. We give homage to Unile, the spirit of the earth. We give homage to Yami Surunga, the powerful one. And I pray that the power of the word will open the 16 doors of creation wisely and gently. In humble words, we give our words to spread across the world gently and in dignity. May the words of this program bring honor to Onmelia and our family of the Ifa Orisha Way of Life, who are many. Ashe, Ashe, Ashe. So, Shaka, and we want to give respect salutations, you know.
May Olodumare bless us.
Benny.
May Olodumare continue to take us to that place of comfort. And I give homage to Olodumare.
Ashe.
I give homage to my mother, my father, my elders. I give homage to my ancestors, the ones that went before me and the ones that have been instrumental in the growth and development of all of us who are walking the path of our destiny. I give homage to the east, the west, the north and the south.
Benny.
And we ask that, you know, as we start this Ifa Orisha Way of Life, may our Ori align in oneness, in love, in unity, and in wisdom to access and accept the blessings that is there for us.
Benny.
Aburu, Aboye, Aboshiste, Asheo.
You know, so this program here, we ask folks to help donate in whatever way they can, because it is not free, you know, to run this program on the Street 919 FM. However, we have sponsors from time on, you know, due to the COVID, you know, businesses closed, businesses going through a little tough time, but you know, IFA says the show will progress, the show will go on.
Ashe.
So we ask members of the community, even those who are not a part of the community, to help us donate, support, sponsor. You can make your donations payable to Chini Bashment Limited. You know, you can call myself Alatumishi MC Duke, or you can get on to King Shaka, you know, because this is ours. This is our community. Let us keep this. This is radio. This is prime time.
Ashe.
This is the time for Ifa and Orisha to be heard, for the Western philosophy to be taken away from it, that, you know, them people is this, there is that, let us do that. Let understand. And the show is a year and some months running strong. And those of you who have been with us, we say thank you. I'd like to shout out the folks on Facebook. Angie St. Paul, Alison Bain, Shamin Taylor, Aisha Rouse, Taylor Man is there, you know, Judy James is there, you know, Kaya Boss is there, Ingrid Iaori, Sanko Farm is here, you know, Lace Peterkin, Ronaldo Alexis, Atiba Swambov, Ile Juba Gogbo, Rishami Mufunusa in the house. That's Table Land.
Table Land people.
They always locked on.
Sure.
Angie St. Paul is here, you know, and Adrian John, Curl and Jacob, you know, so Dini's here word. So spread the word, spread the joy. I mean, drip by drip, go full the bucket. But at the meantime, we want to pay the ads for those people who have continued to make it positive and make this show what it is today. The sponsors who continue, even if a sponsor falls short, we don't take care of. And this is a platform for people of our community business name to be heard.
Ashe.
So let us make it happen. Ashe? Sponsors for the Orisha way of life. Kamara's Culture Store, the #1 importer and supplier of genuine products from Africa, located at Adams Bazaar Main Road, Shogunas. Contact number 672-8438, 320-8866. Gossip Gel Polish, gel with a difference. Contact number 3827587. Come, let us take care of your feet, Petty by Risi. They also sell butters. Contact number 3984474. Nubian Experience, clothing that tells part of our rich African history. Number 6 Woodford Street, Arima. Contact number 6881979. Oriyumi, Nico Loggins, Health and Wealth Lifestyle. Number 73 Eastern Main Road, Barataria. EMG out of Texas. Richie's Tire and Automotive Car Care Center. Number 409 Otello Drive, Hampton, Georgia. Sponsors for the IFA Orisha way of life.
Also sponsored by the Throne of Gold for all your African supplies and clothing. Their contact number is 754-5128. That is the Throne of Gold. You can find them on Facebook and also on Instagram. Omo Inu, All Things Woman. For all your Yoni products, they are the sole women's haven distributor for Trinidad and Tobago. Their contact number is 365-4332. You can find them on Facebook and also on Instagram. Black Tie-Dye Catering Service, 683-8755. You can find them on Facebook and Instagram. Awo Wabande Tonic, 388-4606. You can find them on Facebook and also on Instagram. Ile Josio Turameji, Awo Oshun. Thank you.
Yes, so you know we must get the sponsors the play, but sometime around 9 in the last hour, I'll just be playing some clips. Right now, it started today, the Nales Heritage Library Division in collaboration with the Success Lavantil Networking Committee and Iliegbe Yomoja presents Yoruba Village Emancipation to African History Month. Virtual exhibition and launch. It started today, Monday, the 13th of September, 10 a.m. Be sure to view it on Facebook. Nales Titi at 189 Sink, Titi National Trust, Chini ESC at National Archives Titi, www.nat.gov.tt. So it's going on, I believe, for the next 2 weeks. So let us get a part of it. Let us learn. I'll be playing some clips in the last hour of this presentation. So, you know, we greet everyone in the community. And first and foremost, I'd like to greet all the students of Trinidad and Tobago who took the SCA exam, you know, and they got their results. Wherever you were successful, wherever your school that you got, a school don't make you. You got to do the right thing along with your parents and put in that work. Sure. And the first part of the program, also I'd like to say congratulations to my daughter for passing for her first choice in Francois College, Shakaya Duke. I know she's very proud. She put in the work. I mean, it was tough. It was tough. And one thing I have to say, once you put in the work, you'll reap the rewards. You know, but what we want to touch on is something in the tradition that we as parents, even out of the tradition, need to be a part of, so we could help in the direction of our children. You know, I'll just like to touch on this. Most would agree that we are all born with specific purpose, a destiny. Wouldn't it be wonderful if everyone could start their earthly journey with insights that will help to fulfill their purpose? It will certainly help us to navigate away from paths that will take us off course. In the traditional Yoruba culture, on the third day following the birth of a child and Esentaye is performed with this objective in mind. Esentaye is an investigation of sorts, an Ifa ceremony done to find out a baby's purpose for coming into this world. The literal definition of Esentaye is touch the feet to the earth. The child's feet will touch the earth for the first time during Esentaye in order to protect the destiny of the child and avert interference from ill forces. This sacred ceremony is restricted to only include the child's parents, grandparents, and the appropriate attending priest. During the ceremony, we discover that what actions need to be taken or avoided to support manifestation of the child's destiny. So I'll stop right there to let Shaka elaborate, and then we will go down further. And the reason why we bring this on is that I'm going to leave Shaka to continue that. We're a team here, so that is how we just do it. Go ahead, Shaka.
We give thanks to Olodumare for this opportunity
Ashe.
to bring forth this piece of wisdom
Ashe.
that would touch the lives of all of us. Ashe?
Ashe.
Now, as Alatumishe had just read about what is Esentaye and the sacredness of Esentaye, that is when our children come to this earth, it specifically tells us that this child has a purpose, has a destiny, and has something unique and special that was assigned to them by Olodumare, our creator. Now when a child comes into earth, just as Alat Umishe had said, we the parents, we the elders and the community, we need to know who this child is. And the only way that we can know who this child is by consulting Ifa and getting to find out who this child is. Each child will come with a specific udu, and that udu would contain who that child is.
Ben.
What is the things that would help this child to manifest their purpose and their destiny in the right way. Within this Esentaye, it would be performed ideally on the 3rd day to the 17th day. The child's body, the child's feet must not touch the earth before the Esentaye.
Benny.
So when the presiding priest divines and consults Ifa with Iken Ifa, and they mark the Udu on the upper Ifa, the presiding priest would get some herbs that is there to facilitate the asher that child will be coming with from heaven to manifest on the herbs, manifest on the Udu, manifest on the earth. So the presiding priest will touch the child's feet on the Udu, touch the child's feet on the herbs, and touch the child's feet on the bare earth. And that would symbolize to all of us the ceremonious and the spiritual welcome of that child on earth to walk their destiny and purpose.
Sure.
So I'll just pause there for a bit, and Alat Umishe would go ahead again. Ashel.
Benny, messages are communicated through Ifa divination using the appropriate chants, prayers, and other ritual items. The Udu, which are spiritual symbols that appear during the Ifa divination, reveals detailed information about the child and its destiny, such as the type of destiny and what the parents need to do to support it. What to expect from the child, character and personality traits, and how to nurture positive outcomes. the do's and the don'ts for the child, and other critical information. After this information is communicated, a baby naming ceremony is scheduled for a specific day based on the sex of the child. The name chosen for a child is directly linked to his or her destiny. It has a specific meaning. It is selected based on the messages of the Odu received from the Ifa divination during Esentaye. The baby naming ceremony is the official announcement of the birthing and the name of the baby, and is open to the community. Henceforth, whenever someone calls a child's name, they too are supporting manifestation of his or her destiny. Epa, Ifa. We all want to enjoy a long, healthy and prosperous life. We all want to fulfill destiny. It is our belief that Esentaye is a key component for manifesting those outcomes. May the footprints we leave behind show a successful story of our navigation to destiny fulfillment. Ashe Iwer.
Ashe. Ashe. And you know, it tells us that it's incumbent on the parents, it's incumbent on the community to support the destiny of this new child that is coming into this earth. Ideally, when a parent knows exactly what is the identity, what is the strengths and the weaknesses of that child, that parent now could create that environment with the knowledge given to them by Ifa to ensure that this child does not go off course from who they are. Sometimes a child would come on earth to be a healer, to be a teacher, to be a farmer, to be a vendor, to be a carpenter. But based on the lack of knowledge to the parents as to whom this child is, sometimes we may seek to put our child or children in other spheres that may not be for them. So the only thing that is constant to a person's success is knowing their destiny, living their destiny, and fulfilling their destiny. So that is why when there is an Esentaye, it is done with an adept priest.
Benny.
The parents are there, and members of the community is there. So when that Udu is revealed, people would know who that child is, what is their uniqueness, and how to raise that child.
Man.
And it's important that we as a people in this land of Trinidad and Tobago know how to raise our children and how to raise them in the correct way.
Sure.
To divert them out of the prison system. It's incumbent on us, the parents, to go back to foundation, go back to how our ancestors used to do things that allow them to be successful.
Really?
And when our children are successful, it means that they are living their purpose and their destiny.
Sure.
The only how in Ifa a person is deemed successful, it's only when they are manifesting their destiny. The saddest thing is to live a life and not know one's purpose and one's destiny. Ifa tells us in Ogunda Bede that when we wake up on a morning, we as a people, we as an individual, must know the Odu that gave birth to us.
Benny.
And it tells us again that when we rise in the morning, according to Ejiogbe, we must face the east and chant the Odu that gave birth to us. Whether your Odu is Ejiogbe or Oyeku Ofun or Ika Erete, whatever a person's Udu is based on Ifa, Orisha tradition, you must chant your Udu first thing, one of the first things in the morning. Ashe. I'll just pause there for a pause.
And
Ashe.
I'm going to touch on, a next part of Esentaye too. It is a ritual which allows for the children to be acknowledged in his or her fullest potential.
Sure.
That is, you will know the Udu which gave birth to the child in the physical realm at that particular time in history. It is to say that this soul may have existed before and is returning on assignment or completing unfinished work, while others may be visiting for the first time. Now, I was shocked to elaborate on that part, because someone who is listening to this program for the first time will be saying, with them talking about, boy, we were talking about return and come back. So you can, so you could just elaborate on that first part there,
And it's so blessed that on an evening like this, on a Monday, the start of the week, that we are filling ourselves with knowledge.
Many.
Our ancestors have taught us and have shown us that energy cannot be destroyed.
Sure.
Even though we are existing in this physical experience, we are also engaging in a spiritual experience.
Many.
Our body is just a vessel carrying our spirit,
Sure.
carrying our ori. And our ancestors have taught us and shown us that we as a people reincarnate. So when we complete our spiritual mission, that is when we may say that a person will transition. They would go back to the ancestral realm and take up a new assignment given to them by Olodumare. An assignment, again, that is unique to them. So that is why Esentaye is important. Because when a child is coming into this world, sometimes it is an ancestor who is returning to carry out a mission that is given to them by God.
Benny.
So when we talk about this child, how this child moving as if he don't know the runnings of the world, so or how they moving like
they come already.
They come already. It is many times ancestors within our lineage that is returning. That is why children is important in our well-being as Ifa Orisha devotees.
Benny.
Children, so having children, to ensure that our world continues, to ensure that Ifa would mend our broken world. Because we could complain in this life about how bad things are going in our society. But when we get down and we pray, the ancestors, Olodumare, would send people to help to mend this world. And these people would come through our children. So as these children grow and we teach them the correct morals and values and principles, that is when they could take up the mantle and change this broken world. Ifa is strictly against aborting children. Ifa does not support aborting children. Ifa is about perpetuating life, multiplication, multiplying, according to Ogunda Meji, multiplying blessings. Ifa tells us that we have to multiply. And when we multiply, it's when we would expand. And it's only our survival is ensured through our children. Ifa tells us, if a person does not have any money, does not have any material wealth, take a look at that person's children. And when you look and you see how that person's children is well trained, well behaved, in line with their destiny, that person is a rich man. Because those same said children would come back later on in life to build and uplift that family.
Man.
I share you.
You know, even while we was elaborating on the first part of Sentai, it says the naming ceremony, which is so important. And when the child go out into the community and the village see the child or the neighborhood, the area where the child from, and call the name. So it goes to show that name is power. And if you watch a child and say, "You're stupid, you're this, you're that," you entertaining that negative energy, that negative vibration around the child. So we really need to understand and think about what we're doing, how we're doing it, and how it had to happen, because Essentire is for us.
Sure.
It was hiding from us, The way how the Western world say it, and I say it without apology, how they have it done that it's not good. But once you understand this, it's simply telling you that, and alright, I go hold back on what I say, because as we go down, you go understand what I say, there's no jumping, right? While others may be visiting for the first time, that where I stop, I also mention potential, because it is important for parents, having heard the messages, to create the environment necessary for the child to excel in becoming and remaining connected to his or her destiny. Taboos of a child will be known. It say that taboos in the most general sense are spiritual poison. This is very important for the child's physical, mental, emotional health and protection. Therefore, taboos must be respected, Shaka.
Sure. And you see how everything is tying in to the puzzle. Because, again, when you know something, that is your ammunition to success.
Benny.
Because, like now, some children would be calm children. Some children would be much more outgoing than others.
So true.
So we have to understand the makeup of our children. And when we understand their makeup, that is when we could direct them in the best way. And each person has a taboo.
Benny.
Just as Alat Humishe had said.
Yes.
And taboo is spiritual poison.
Benny.
That inhibits, blocks, and destroys the potential of a person.
So
to put it even much more direct. So when we know the taboos of our children through Eshentai, that is when we would ensure that our children is not eating their taboo. Like sometimes there may be food taboos. Like sometimes if a child is an Obatala child. If a child is an Obatala child.
Like myself.
And the family does not know. And they are putting that child in black, putting that child in red. That may be spiritually suppressing that child for allowing that child to manifest their purpose and their destiny. Or per se that child is a Oshun child from heaven. And we do not know. And that family is feeding that child catfish. Giving that child catfish over.
Bacon shark.
Bacon shark. You don't know how that could be damaging the spiritual growth and development, or even the physical development of a child. Per se as well, if a child, again, is a child of Shango, and the parents or the community do not pay attention to that, and they are giving that child the taboo of Shango, which is Obi seed. They are giving that child that Obi seed to eat, and you don't know if that would be inhibiting the growth of a child. So again, by Eshentai, it would give us the knowledge, the wisdom of how to guide these young ones that would soon be the leaders of tomorrow. You know? Asheo.
And I'm not bashing nobody else, but we quick to run and christen with child. You know? Yes, I alatu Mishe Ifaba, Mishe Agan, KMC Duke say this. We quick to walk up the aisle and christen with child. Have a big bram later. with alcohol and all these sorts of things, and still we don't know the road, the direction, and the taboos that the child have to go.
Facts.
And we just keep going. You understand? Because why? The first we down this road, and that is the road we going.
Sure.
But just taking time and doing this entire, what could show you the plus, the negatives, and how this child is supposed to grow. You, the parent, now go have the direction and know the road to put the child on, so that if you see, oh, my child coughing so well, let me check and see what it is. Nah, boy.
Yeah.
Nah, we had to fix that. So I'm gonna go forward. I'm gonna go forward here for, taboos must be respected.
Sure.
However, when the child cannot observe for his or her taboos, the mother of the child must observe them. An example may be in the form of food, which Shaka just said, because Esentaya is done at such a young age. It is clear if the child have taboo of food items and the mother consumes them, she will feed them to the child when breastfeeding. So that is where the saying go, where the mother eat, so shall the child feed off of. The child will be given different material to be tasted. These items will open, in some cases, the appeal and or knowledge of issues in life. These are obi, orogbo, salt, atare, etc. The priest, and we just always stress on this here, on this show. What did I say, Shaka?
Adept.
An adept.
Adept.
Or I should say a competent
Benny.
babalawo. The priest will know how to invoke the energy of these material, which, from my understanding, will be fed to the subconscious of the child through the mouth. The parents will be able to record the characteristics, good or bad, and how to treat with them. In some cases, the child may be older than their parents, which will require a particular approach. The child's feet will be placed on the open ifa, which will signal the child's arrival on earth.
Sure.
The names of the child will be given. It is important to acknowledge and register the child as such, if we truly understand that all which are being revealed was chosen by the child in Orun before making the journey to earth.
Sure.
Aboro, Abohi, Aboshishe.
Sure. And just to add as well too, based on the benefits of Eshent Aye, sometimes this investigation through again Ikush Hedaye Eshent Aye, this would tell us if the child is an abiku, and even though, and what is an abiku, and what is an abiku for people who are listening? An abiku is a child that is destined to die early.
Benny.
And these are the things that we in our community must know, because once we know, we could mitigate and make the proper consultation to IFA to ensure that it do not bring hardship or pain to a newly mother.
Benny.
What an abiku is a child that is destined to die early. So when you go to Ifa and Ifa reveals this, the babalawo or the priestess or the awo, once they are competent enough, and even if they consult other elders, they would know what to do,
Benny.
whatever, or what to do to reverse the ill fate from reaching the doorsteps of that parents.
Sure.
Because there are verses in Ifa that speaks about Abiku coming from Irona to earth, and how Arun Miller was able to advise the devotee of how to navigate out of that hurtful situation.
Sure.
So again, as the person had said on the live, Ifa mends our broken world. Our people do not have to experience certain hardships because Olodumare wants us to be comfortable. Ikamechi tells us that Ifa gives the awo or the devotee comfort. So even so, when a child is coming into this earth, this is a momentous occasion. It's a point of celebration.
Sure.
The mothers, this is the time when now at all times we in the community as men have to take care of our women. But when we see a pregnant woman anywhere, we must pay homage to that God that they are bringing into this earth.
Sure.
We have to pay homage to them because it is, I wouldn't know exactly how they would be feeling or what they would be experiencing, but ancestors would be meeting them. The different Orisha would be meeting them, and they would be speaking to them and molding them and taking them through the different paces. So that is why it is taboo to disrespect a woman while she is in pregnancy.
Sure.
They give them that full respect. Now, these are the things that we have to talk about because we know that there is a domestic violence situation in this land of Trinidad and Tobago.
A lot.
And it is the responsibility of all men to ensure that our women are protected in the correct way and in the right way.
Sure.
It's incumbent on all of us to ensure that our sisters in the community are safe. Ashe?
Sure.
Ashe.
You know, so we brought that forward, and just as Shaka said, a mother and father lost their young child, you know, and studying what happened, what went on. I do everything. I christen my child, send them to school, I make sure they stay on the straight and narrow path. But just if you had done this entire naming ceremony, you would have been spared and your child would have been with you. So we say that, you know, because the SCA results came out and congratulate each and every child of Trinidad and Tobago who completed during this pandemic time.
Sure.
You know? So we say congratulations to each and every one of those children. A school don't make you. You have to make yourself.
True.
Right? You have to make yourself.
True.
So we're going to elaborate back on IFA for the year 2021. You know, the Udu for the year 2021. We want to always make sure you folks have that, you know, Leori. Always have it right there to remember.
Yeah.
Don't wait till something happen and say, oh gosh.
If I say this or
If I say that,
yeah.
you know. IFA of the year 2021-2022 from Okietase, Ile Ife State of Osun, Nigeria, Iriwoya. We greet you all in the name of Olodumare, Old Million, all the Orisha. We also extend the greetings of Araba Agbaye, the permanent chairman of the Council of Araba, Olowo, the pillar of the International Council for Ifa Religion, ICIR. To you all in this season of the World Ifa Festival, with combined efforts of Board of Ethics and Scripture of the Council of Elders, ICIR, we the members of the Publication Committee of Okietase 2021-2022, organizing committee set up by the International Council for Ifa Religion, we are hereby presenting verses of the Ifa of the year recited with inspiration by the priest on the mat in the early hour of Sunday, the 6th of June 2021, which stands as the first day of the year in the Ifa calendar system. The Udu Ifa that came out of this year is Oshe Okanran. Oshe on the right, Kanran on the left. The Udu came with Ire Aiku, longevity, and Ebo is recommending. Ifa priests from Nigeria, Republic of Benin, Republic of Togo, Brazil, Trinidad and Tobago, Germany, United States of America, Venezuela, Cuba, Argentina, Panama, Britain, Switzerland, Ghana, and Sweden were all there and made their contributions.
Sure.
The verses of Oshe Okanran recited with their narratives are below. You know, so you will find time to time we'll be bringing back the Udu for the year Oshe Okanran, Oshe on the right, Okanran on the left, for members of the community, for outside of the community, for you to be aware of
and
what
for reference as well.
Yes, at all times, you know. And we start in here. 1. Ifa said, this is a year of blessings. Many people who are planning traveling abroad will be successful in their plans. This year, while people who stay at home will also receive blessings. We need to make Ebo to always come across fortunes as we go out every day. Shaka, as I'm about to read this next line here, it's the truth, it's facts.
Read it.
It's facts, you know.
Brother, read it.
There will be a lot of rain, especially in the night this year.
True.
Human activities, especially blocking of waterways, will cause flood, disaster.
True.
Ifa says we should avoid that.
Facts. Because look at how recently most of the rainfall is late evening, night, you know.
Yeah.
Early in the morning.
Yeah.
Flooding taking place all over the place. And again, Ifa had foreseen this. And Ifa had given us directive of what to do and what not to do.
Ben.
So this is a direct testimony,
Yes.
of the universal wisdom of Ifa.
Yes.
Ashe.
Ashe. People should refrain from traveling at night for various dangers. Also, when it rains during the day, all hearing where Ifa saying, Oshe Okanran, Oshe on the right, Okanran on the left.
Facts.
People should refrain from traveling at night for various dangers. Also, when it rains during the day, it is good for us to allow the rain to touch our body, but not to get soaked.
True.
You know, and there are items of Ebo that can be done to make all these things happen.
True.
Right? And we go on. So it says, the storyline, Oshe, the black man, the priest in the city of Alara, Olokanran, the light complexion man, the priest in Iwer, let us live to witness next festival.
Ashe.
The priest of Oranrin Bagbo in Ido, when an old woman is submissive to the husband. The young co-wives become angry. The amount of rain that fell yesterday night, nobody knows, except Olodoyo, except Sikelewe. Ifa revelation to Olmilia, when he was going to meet with Iwer early in the morning, what is OP taking me to meet with? Good people.
Ashe.
Are those OP taking me to meet good people?
Ashe.
Good people. When I went out, I met with wealth. Ashe.
Ashe.
Good people.
Ashe.
Are those OP taking me to meet with? Good people. When I went out, I came across all good things. Good people. Are those OP taking me to meet with good people? Shaka?
And that upward, that is being spoken of out in that Udu is destiny. Your Uri being supported by your destiny will take that person or that individual
Bene.
to that place of blessing.
Ashe.
Where Ifa tells you as a person to go, Ifa knows why Ifa is telling you to make that leap. Ashe?
Ashe.
Ashe.
You know, Oshe Terry, the priest of Olokaye, Olokanran, the priest of Olokot, the priest that travels far will bring home fortunes.
Ashe.
Ifa Revelation told Milia, when he was longing for fortunes, he was told it was already his time to receive blessing. As I woke up today, I came across people with wealth.
Ashe.
Good people are the ones that Ope has taken me to meet. Good people.
Ashe.
And that was the first one.
Ashe.
You know, number two, for our community, state or nation, Ebo is recommended for economic development. Ebo and Akoshe are needed for all the markets in the town. And there are items for the Ebo. After Ebo, Akoshe will be done. X, Y, and Z. On this, Ifa says. Number three, Ifa said, there's about to be war, but Ebo is needed so that there won't be war. Ifa warns us against looking for war. We should neither depend on arms nor charms, but Ebo. And again, there are ritual items for the Ebo.
You know, as that item of war, Ifa tells us we should not be looking for war. Because Ifa is telling us that if you're looking for war, no gun, no knife, no charms, no ammunition would help a person overcome that war.
Sure.
So Ifa is telling us that that war is solely dependent on a person or a community consulting Ifa to overcome any uneventuality that may be caused by the wicked persons. So Ifa is telling us again, consult Ifa to know how to overcome. And Ifa tells us, don't go out there and look for trouble, you know. Don't go out there and look for trouble. That is what Ifa is telling us. Ashe?
Ashe.
And that Udu had said, Orun Miller said, we should bury a dangerous issue.
Benny.
I repeat, that we should bury a dangerous issue. He said, if there has been war in the city of Ara, he said they should make Ebo to bury the dangerous issue, so that they and those people would not experience war again. Ormela says we should bury a dangerous issue. I repeat, that we should bury a dangerous issue. He said that there has been a war in the city of Ejero. He said that they should make Ebo to bury the dangerous issue, so that they would not experience war again. Ormela says that we should bury a dangerous issue. I repeat, that we should bury a dangerous issue. He said, if there has been a war in the city of Onwaragun, he said they should bury it a dangerous issue. So this Udu Ifa is telling us that we, for our survival as a people, must depend on the power of Ifa through Ebo to overcome whatever is taking place that is affecting us in our community. Let us not go and look for war. The Orisha and the positive ancestors will take care of that. Ashe, this is why the Awo or the Oti consults Ifa every 5 days, because Ifa knows yesterday, Ifa knows today, and Ifa knows tomorrow. And whatever is to come tomorrow that is harmful on the devotee, it is through Ebo we shall overcome. Ashe.
True. And I want you see this verse here, only take it very serious, because he said there has been a war in the city of Orangun. he said they should make Iwer to bury the dangerous issue. He said there has been a war in the city of Iwer. He said we should make Iwer to bury the dangerous issue. So, take that message and put it into perspective into Trinidad and Tobago. People, awake. Be very vigilant.
Sure.
And if, and there was war, let us do the correct ebol so that we would not have war. Right?
Sure.
So we're going on. Shaka, you will go to the number 4.
Well, if I said to win the wars against the oppressors in our land, Iwer is recommended, as well as the appeasement of Ogun and Ile, which is the Mother Earth. So Ifa is telling us to win this war, we must appease Ogun and we must appease Mother Earth. So Ogun would fight this spiritual battle on our behalf. And on this, Ifa says, Oshe Kara, Chika Chika, Ola Kara. Cast Ifa for Ogun Onire when he was amidst wars in the front, greater war at the back, many wars on the right side, sudden war on the left side, many wars in the city. He was advised to make Iwer. One needs to look back. One needs to stay at the crossroad. Ifa revelation for Ile Atape, the Mother Earth, who will be rescuing one from war. War is coming with swords. The Mother Earth, I hail. You open your mouth. You open your mouth and swallow them. You open your mouth and consume them. The war from my right side. The Mother Earth, I hail you. Open your mouth. Open your mouth and swallow them up. You open your mouth and consume them. The Mother Earth, I hail you. You open your mouth. You open your mouth, swallow them. You open your mouth and consume them. And that is why, taking an oath on Mother Earth, it is so sacred in our tradition. When you take an oath before Mother Earth and you eat of those substances on Mother Earth and you go against that, it is believed, in fact it is known, that the Mother Earth would swallow up such persons who are oath breakers.
Many.
So when we go to Mother Earth and we promise Mother Earth as devotees and traditionalists that we are not looking for our help and our salvation outside of the positive energies, we are taking oath with them and they would support us.
Many.
They would support us. We have the tools to overcome anything in this land. But we must get back to our way of life, our tradition. That is Ifa, Orisha, Ashe.
Ashe, you know, we're going on to 5 years. We should be careful of strangers. People should not accommodate unknown persons. Landlords are warned to be very vigilant before accepting tenants, so that tenants would not bring hardships and dangers to the host. They will come with hidden agenda. Ifa says, tenants with bad intentions will be exposed and expelled. The landlords must, however, be security conscious, and their items available to carry about. People do mention senior co-wife. Nobody mentions senior mother-in-law. Ifa revelation to Alaka, who was going to live with Iroko. We're going to the next one, Shaka.
And again, that Ifa is telling us, you know, that we need to be careful. Because, you know, this is the time of pandemic. And we are hearing about the different variants. Let us be careful of the persons we take into our homes. Let us be careful.
Yeah.
And on that same thing, Ifa is telling us that we should be our brother's keeper. And it's different from what was said before. We should be our brother's keeper. When there's a problem with anybody, the community must be fast in aiding that person to combat that problem, so that the problem would not denigrate into a problem that is affecting the entire community. So again, if we know that there are persons in our communities that are so inclined to be doing things that could cause hardship in the community, let us get together and make it be known to that person that they should cease and desist from bringing that type of energy in the community. We must cease and desist. Ashe?
Sure.
And Ifa is also telling us that religious leaders, in fact people, especially kings, religious leaders, politicians, should refrain from fraudulent activities. Ifa said that scammers are too many among religious leaders. Ifa, Orisha, priests are included. Kings and politicians. Ifa is saying that politicians as well. And Ifa is saying that many people are too greedy, that they want the treasures that are meant for the whole community or nation. And they want these that are meant for the entire community to go to them alone. Ifa is saying that many people are receiving their own shares and are going the extra mile to claim what belongs to others, while many in spiritual, religious vocation claim to be what they are not. Ifa is warning people that they should refrain from this act, and to refrain from this act, or otherwise receive the wrath of Olodumare. So Ifa is telling us, politicians, please do not con the people. Do not take what belongs to the people and take it for yourself. Ifa is telling politicians, religious leaders, do not con the people. What belongs to the people, give them it. We cannot afford to be spoiling our children, spoiling our people by not giving them what is due to them.
Barely. You know, people, Ifa says also, people should refrain from adultery, for it will be leading to fights and untimely death. We should also refrain from making jest of people. One needs to control one's tongue, lest he or she brings misfortune to him or herself through utterances. Ifa says, some men are so adulterous and bold that they are having secret affairs with the wives of fellow landlords in the community. I just want to say something. You don't have to be if I say here, this way does make an adept and a competent awo, a olorisha, a babalawo, Ifa. Don't look at the word landlord like you own a property and somebody coming and paying your rent. Your neighbor is a landlord.
True.
The neighbor downstairs, the neighbor in the street.
True.
And this is things that happen in the community. Having secret affairs with the wives of fellow landlords in the community. Even women in opposite houses. On this, Ifa says, person who denies committing a crime have at least a confidant he or she confesses to. Ifa's revelation to Okiri the squirrel. When going to snatch Sisiri, the wife of Oka, the cobra. Note, according to the verse, Okiri the squirrel snatched a wife of Oka, the cobra. It did not stop at that. It was making jest of Oka. the cobra. Anyway, the wife snatcher saw the ex-husband, Oka. The cobra later killed or carried the squirrel. So it just goes to show, when you do things like this, and false utterances or you utter things that people and your tongue and you decide you do, it could lead to chaos.
To death.
To death.
To death.
Because you go be interfering with the neighbor wife, you know, for a month, 2 months, 3 months. But some way, somehow, he go find out. And people go be throwing talk. So we need to be careful. You know, again, married women should also refrain from unnecessary familiarity or play with people so that their husbands will not be suspicious of them. Married women should also refrain from unnecessary familiarity or play with people so that their husbands will not be suspicious of them. Men should also give necessary respect to married women, so that their unhealthy play with them will not send them out of their matrimonial house. And that is so true. Adultery issues will be rampant this year. Both men and women should refrain from any kind of immoral sexual activities to guard against disease and disgrace. All godchildren must be faithful to their godfathers and godmothers. On this, Ifa says, you know, Kasifa for Idi, the brass who was with the wife of Orisha, a sin, a bad person. Ikamodu, a wicked one. Ita, one with big tail who lived near Termite Hill. They were the ones who conspired together and inflicted Idi, the brass with unpleasant odor. Idi, the brass, was sent packing from Ifun. Idi, the brass, was expelled from Ojo. Nobody knows what Idi, the brass, did to Orisha.
Sure.
You know, this verse was about Idi, the brass, who was a wife of Obatala. One day Obatala perceived the odor. And this is reality here. Perceived the odor of a sin. Akamudu and Ita on Idi, his wife's body. The wife claimed she was just playing with them, while Obatala claimed she has committed adultery with them. He sent Idi, the brass, the wife, away, and Oshun later accommodated her. 10, you want touch 10, Shaka?
And that's the beautiful way that Ifa speaks to us. Ifa does not cut corners in bringing the message to the devotee. Ifa tells us as it is beforehand so that we could avoid hardship. Ifa tells us that polygamy is encouraged against going for divorce or having extramarital affairs. Also, any monogamous man who is experiencing blockage of fortunes should marry more than one wife, and this will destroy the blockage. Also, for couples who are barren, marrying another wife will lead to the senior wife also having a child once the junior wife has a child. The error of this is revealed by Ifa. Now again, for persons who will be hearing about polygamy for the first time, polygamy is part of our tradition, and it is reserved for people who are spiritually mature, mentally mature, and has the financial backing as well to engage in that type of relationship. Polygamy is not for people who is not ready for it. You must be mentally and spiritually strong in order to cooperate with a junior wife. And this is how it is in the tradition. A man must not take a woman and place her in a position of hardship. So your home must be comfortable first. Then you could go and seek to bring another wife. But it must be a mutual discussion with the husband and the wife in order for polygamy to function in the best way. It must not be one is starving and one is eating. That is not how it goes.
True.
Ashe?
Ifa also spoke about that. Ifa also spoke about leaving your family undone and dealing elsewhere. And that's a serious thing. I know you want to touch one more, I know you had to go. I know you had to make your way up the road because, the curfew. Yes, so the curfew starts at 9.
Yeah.
And, Ingrid, says, can you all read those lines again? I don't know which line, but could you read back 10, polygamy?
Well, again, I would say polygamy is part of our tradition, but it must be done by people who are spiritually mature, mentally, emotionally mature, and financially stable to engage in that type of relationship. We cannot bring a party into a situation that would bring them into further hardship.
Benny.
So when a man takes a woman, takes a wife, he must be able to put food into that wife's mouth. He must be able to put clothes on that woman's back. And he must be able to take care of his household and not leave one party undone. That is how our ancestors have designed it. That's how Olodumare have designed it. Polygamy is not strange to us in this part of the world. It is not strange to our ancestors. But again, it must be done in order and in decency. It must be done in order and decency. We must not put our people into hardship. Ashe? So that is even, homework for men who want to engage in that type of lifestyle. Seek to build. Build on what you have. Build. When that time is ripe, make the proper sacrifice. Do consult Ifa, hear what Ifa has to say, and let Ifa guide your actions.
Benny.
Ashe? Because Ifa is not about confusion. Ifa is about making our lives comfortable. Ashe?
Ashe.
Aburu, Abori, Aboshishe.
I am looking at the comments here. Ingrid says, because often I under the impression that those important details are forgotten. Leanne Ragbe says, I like that mutual, Ingrid also says, Benny, financially stable and not to take a wife to put her in further hardship. We're gonna take a little break because my co-host Shaka, he has to make his way of the building because
across the mountain.
Yes,
down by the river.
Because Ifa says we need to obey the laws of the land. And if the laws of the land says 9 o'clock, it should be 9 o'clock. Judy James says you should only have 2 wives. If you can afford it, you must be able to support both household and living family. So truth. Ifa speaks about that, Judy. Ifa speaks about that, and if we really divine, as we was talking the other day, last 4 segments, divine direction, divine connectivity. Ifa has placed all the tools, all the necessary information. All we had to do is plug in the memory stick and just copy and download it into our Ori. And then bring it out and practice what we're supposed to practice. So I know my course.
But I know this is a topic that is very much interesting.
Yeah.
And I know we on the Ifa Orisha way of life. We are here to bring that clarity.
Yes.
So maybe on the next run, we'll discuss,
we will continue
polygamy in depth in the tradition.
Yes.
Boy.
So I know you had to go on, you had to make your way
Up
out
the mountain,
down the valley. You know, so we're going to take a break and we're going to come right back at you guys. Don't you dare touch your dial. It's all about Ifa Orisha, Way of Life on the Sheet 919 FM. MC Dukala Tumishi and King Shaka. Yes, so we're back here at the Ifa Orisha Way of Life on the Sheet 919 FM. So we're going to pay some bills. Sponsors for the Orisha Way of Life. Kamara's Coltesto, the #1 importer and supplier of genuine products from Africa, located at Adams Bazaar Main Road, Shogunas. Contact number 672-8438, 320-8866. Gossip Gel Polish, gel with a difference. Contact number 3827587. Come, let us take care of your feet, Petty by Risi. They also sell butters. Contact number 3984474. Nubian Experience, clothing that tells part of our rich African history. Number 6 Woodford Street, Arima. Contact number 6881979. Oriumi, Nico Loggins, Health and Wealth Lifestyle. Number 73 Eastern Main Road, Barataria. EMG out of Texas. Richie's Tire and Automotive Car Care Center. Number 409 Otello Drive, Hampton, Georgia. Sponsors for the Ifa Orisha Way of Life.
Also sponsored by the Throne of Gold for all your African supplies and clothing. Their contact number is 754-5128. That is the Throne of Gold. You can find them on Facebook and also on Instagram. Omo Inu, all things woman. For all your Yoni products, they are the sole women's haven distributor for Trinidad and Tobago. Their contact number is 365-4332. You can find them on Facebook and also on Instagram. Black Tie-Dye Catering Service, 683-8755. You can find them on Facebook and Instagram. Awo Wabande Tonic, 388-4606. You can find them on Facebook and also on Instagram. Ile Josio Turameji, Awo Oshun. Thank you.
Yes, so we're back at it here on the Ifor Show. We have live on the Sheet 919 FM. Yours truly, MC Duke Alatumishe, my co-host King Shaka. He had to leave to, curfew time. We're streaming live on Facebook on the Sheet 919 FM Facebook page. Also streaming live on YouTube on Iwer TV. It's all about the Ifor Show. We have live, and I'm going to tell you guys about the Nales Heritage Library Division in collaboration with the Success Love Until Networking Committee and the Iliegbe Yemoja presents Yoruba Village Emancipation to African History Month virtual exhibition and launch. It started today at 10 a.m. Be sure to view it on Facebook and YouTube. So I'm going to play some clips of what happened today. I'm just going to play some clips from today. And YouTube, so I'm going to play some clips of what happened today. I'm just going to play some clips from today.
Ifor Foundation Caribbean
and YouTube, so I'm going to play some clips of what happened. I'm just going to play some clips. So I'm going to play some clips of what you just getting a little problem here. Let me sort it out.
Gods and Goddesses of Africa, Ifa and the Orisha mythology. Africa, the second largest continent, home to over 400 million people and several hundred religions, including the religion of the Yoruba people, Ifa. The Yoruba people originated and inhabited West African countries, including Nigeria, Benin, Togo. Yorubas have been practicing their unique traditions for centuries. Three important states of the Yoruba and its history are Ife, Oyo, and Ijubo. Ife has been the center of Yoruba religion, as practitioners worldwide hold the city of Ife sacred. It was here that Olodumare sanctioned his co-creators, Orishanla, to begin the creation of the world, according to the Ife pantheon and story of creation. Creation of Aye, earth. Ifa incorporates the belief of Ashe, a powerful life force possessed by humans and divine alike. Ashe is the energy found in all natural things, rain, thunder, wind. It is similar to the concept of chi in Asian spirituality, or that of Shakti in Hinduism. In the creation story, the assignment of creation was first given to Obatala, the owner of creation. Ifa creation story. Obatala was sent down to create dry land, but the task was not completed. Oduduwa was then sent down to take over Obatala's task of creation. Oduduwa thereafter became the first king of Ife. Upon his death, his children dispersed and founded the Yoruba kingdoms of Owu, Ketu, Benin, Ile, Sabe, Popo, and Oyo. The history of Ife. In 500 BC, there is evidence found to support the start of the city of Ife. Between 700 to 900 AD, Ife began to develop major artistic centers. Between 1200 and 1400 AD, during this time, they are known for their ancient and naturalistic bronze, stone, and terracotta sculptures. 1400 AD started to decline due to the Oyo and Benin empires that were beginning to form during this time. African spirituality, Ifa. The Yoruba Ifa devotee teaches that reality is divided into two separate worlds, heaven or Oru and earth, Aye. Orun, the other world created by Olodumare, consisted of spirits, Igbe, Oro, ancestors, and Orisha, gods, Ogun, Shango, Oya, Nana, Oshun, Obatala. That was the divide between Orun and Aye. According to Ifa, heaven or Orun is the invisible spiritual world of Olodumare, Ifa, Orisha, ancestors, and Ori. Orun, Olodumare, Ifa, Orisha, ancestors, Ori. According to Ifa, earth or Aye is the ordinary world, the visible home of human beings descended from heaven. Aye, planets, animals, trees, man, woman, people, family, earth. Again, according to the tradition of Ifa, Orun, or the invisible world, consists of Olodumare, the creator, Orisha, the divinities, and Igungun, the ancestors. Aye, or the visible world, consists of living people, plants and animals, natural and manufactured goods. These are the belief systems of an Ifa devotee. Olodumare, one supreme God, the original source of power in the universe. All life forms owe their existence to Olodumare. The Yoruba also refers to the supreme being as Olorun, Olodume, Elede, Elemi, Alaye, and Olojo Oni. In every spiritual system, there is a prophet. Ifa is no different. Orunmila considered a prophet in Ifa. Orunmila is said to have been present when Olodumare created all beings. Hence, he knows the truth of all beings and the destiny of all beings. ancestors or Igungu. Our ancestors are those who have gone before us. It is those on whose shoulders we now stand. They are our positive deceased who guides us through dreams, conversations, and associations when they were alive. Our deceased mothers, fathers, leaders, and elders make up our ancestral lineage. Orisha. An Orisha is a force of nature. The word Orisha means a shard of consciousness. They are specific and singular divine potencies that constitute the core of everything that manifested into being. Ori. Ori means both your spiritual and physical head. It means the apex of all things and is the form of a person's higher spiritual self. Obatala, also known as Orishanla, deemed the ark divinity. He represents ethical purity, symbolized by immaculate whiteness. Obatala is viewed as the most intelligent and even-tempered of the Orisha, molder of the human form on earth, and forms the embryonic body of infants in the womb. Eshu, Ilegbara, the divine messenger between heaven and earth, holder of Ashe, or creative potencies of the other Orisha. He is the divinity of the crossroads, or decisions, good or bad, and the consequences that follows those decisions that we make. Oshun, the cosmological force of fresh waters, rivers, streams, and lakes. She reflects one of the manifestations of Olodumare. She is the Orisha of love, fertility, and prosperity. She encourages healing, mothering, harmony, and fluidity. Ogun, divinity of clearing paths, specifically in respect to building civilizations. The divinity of mechanization and clearer of a pathway. The essence of divine justice and truth on earth. He is the liberator and executioner in the world. Yemoja, the divinity of the oceans, the mother of all Orisha, and she expresses her motherly energy throughout the earthly and heavenly realms. The matriarchal head of the cosmic universe, the amniotic fluid of the womb in pregnant women, and the breasts which nurture and suckle young. Oya, the Orisha of transformation and changes we make in our lives. She is a warrior of great strength. She is the deity of the storms and hurricanes that causes massive changes across the globe. She is the deity of rebirth, as things must die so that the new begins to arise. Shango, the Orisha of truth and justice, the deity of lightning and fierce retribution in legal problems, protection from enemies, and to make bad situations better. There are many other Orishas. Olokun, Orisha of the depths of the ocean. Ochosi, Orisha of hunters. Ibijis, twins symbolizing the dual aspects of the cosmos. Oko, Orisha of the farm. Osayin, Orisha of plants herbs and medicine, Babaluwaye, Shakpana, Orisha of sickness and epidemics. In summary, each of these entities or energies exists in each and every one of us. Thus, for the Yoruba Ifa Orisha devotee, there is no devil. We create our own heaven and hell here on earth based on the decisions we make. Thus, heaven and earth lies in the power of our tongues. And there you have it, the gods and goddesses of Yoruba tradition, from Ife to the Caribbean, African spirituality, Ifa, to be continued.
Thank you for joining us at the Yoruba Village 2021.
Guru guru bete, mariwo sandi mole, mariwo guru guru bete, mariwo sandi mole, mariwo. Hey 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 guru guru bete, mariwo sandi mole, mariwo. Gudu gudu bete, mariwo o 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 sandi mole, mariwo. Mariwo, mariwo. Sisi osan petiko karele osan karele. Sisi osan petiko karele osan karele. Karele karele. Karele osan karele. Sisi osan petiko karele osan karele. Karele karele. Karele osan karele. Sisi osan petiko karele osan karele. Karele karele osan karele osan karele. Piti osan petiko karele osan karele. Sisi osan petiko
Yeah.
Last night I went to a feast, well, and the things I'm seeing these days is really not like how the feast and them used to carry me in long time, but getting real different. You're seeing a lot of strange things. I mean, compared to a long time, the feast and them used to carry me in. I know I big out going out by myself. It's really different, but you know something I just study how feast used to be long ago for you. How them long time days really used to be.
Well, the first thing I could tell you about is that feast was a solemn and serious thing more than today.
Right.
There's a holiness and a worship in the feast taking place. And according to our teachings, even when I was small, my elders always taught me that in this form of worship, that the first set of people we had to call on was the ancestors.
Ancestors, yeah.
They always dealt with the ancestors first, even from during the week before the feast, where before the feast actually started. Yes, they would sing for the ancestors during the feast, but before the feast actually started, they called the ancestors, and that helped to bring the sacredness, the sanctity, as to what feast really is about. And I feel that it was, it was more devotional, but the thing is, the feast began with worship to the ancestors, a veneration of the ancestors, so that we know that we are on a road that our ancestors walk, and we walk in it too.
Right,
and we following them. And so I feel that once that began, and people got into the devotional mood, into the holy mood, into the worship mood, beginning with the ancestors, then the feast had to take a different direction, and people coming would have taken a different direction. And that, to me, is what is missing, because if the sanctity and the worship come in early in today's day, who knows, that might help it. It might bring people back to the seriousness of what the feast really was.
Asha, how you quiet so?
Boy, I know got little vibes there.
What kind of vibes you talking about?
I know get a nice piece of music in my ears there.
Amiwa ori ela ogu awa osu iyama iyalo shagbalawa dadawo.
Amiwa ori bela oru awa osu iyama iyalo shagbalawa dadawo.
Amiwa ori ela oru awa osu iyama iyalo shagbalawa dadawo.
Amiwa ori bela oru awa osu iyama iyalo shagbalawa dadawo.
Tell me what it is you're hearing now, or you could hum it. Me hear you.
Ah la 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 la. La 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 la.
Where that come out this morning?
I don't know.
You hear that, girl? Let me tell you, Daddy carried me in a feast over 16 years ago. I was still going I was now finished CXC. A lady by the name of Tanti Dainty in Gasperlo. That's the first time I hear that song and the words. And let me see if I can remember the words, boy. Because they don't sing this in Pali now, eh? Amiwa ori bela oru awa osu iyama iyalo shagbalawa dadawo.
That is the music I know here.
That is the music.
That is it.
Daddy will be the person to really tell you what they used to use that song for and how it used to be sung.
Oh, I want to know where you get that.
That is real old school. song is a real old school song, but that easy person to explain that song, not
Well, and that was used to venerate the ancestors even before you started singing for the Orishas at the beginning of feast. It even used to start at the veneration of the ancestors from the week before the feast and every night. But it was also sung when they had ancestral pilgrimages, when one shrine used to visit another shrine on an ancestral pilgrimage. So that in our teaching, what we were taught is that in every form of worship, we call the ancestors first. So the feast must be different because we're not starting the feast where it should start. And we also used to use it. There were ancestral pilgrimages in the past from one shrine to another shrine. Ancestral pilgrimage. Where they're dealing with the ancestors alone. And that was the first song as they enter in the yard. And you're going into the palace. That was the song. Where that come out with you, girl?
No, I don't know.
Them ancestors are wrong, man.
Yeah. You got it, man. What I got to do is to teach all of the rest.
I want to know the rest. Call me mama for me. Call me mama for me. Call me mama and call me papa and call me mama for me. Call me mama for me. Call me mama for me. Call me mama and call me papa and call me mama for me.
It is now a pitiful place. The chant has become a dirge. When eyes are two, they watch events unfold. When legs are two, they walk with heavy treading. When the behinds are two, they sit on a mat. One hand does not jingle. Also, one leg will not walk with a fast treading. We are all called differently. I am asked to kneel and greet those before me. I knelt and greeted those before me. I am asked to kneel and call on those who are behind me. I knelt and called on those who are behind me. They ask, who are those before me? I say it is one's ancestors. Those are the ones who are before me. They asked, who are those behind me? I say it is the Orisha in one's family that are behind me. When the Ethiopian swallow builds its nest, it is suspended in the sky looking at the Creator and looking at the humans on earth. Atangegere Kas Ifa for Odushola, the child of Aranashe, whose father died when he was a child without knowledge of how to perform divination, and not having been to Ife for the Ifa festival. When all the ritual materials were gathered, he started crying and saying that he did not know what was to be offered first. Ancestors, descend and make this ritual a success for us.
Wala miso egun wala mi bo koiko karele wo egun wala mi so egun wala mi so egun wala mi bo koiko karele wo egun wala mi so egun wala mi so egun wala mi bo koiko karele wo egun wala mi so egun wala mi so egun wala mi bo koiko karele wo egun wala mi so egun wala mi so egun wala mi bo koiko karele wo egun wala mi so egun wala mi so egun wala mi bo koiko karele wo egun wala mi so kan shiwale gun kan shiwalo gun kan shuwalo kan jubale gun kan shuwalo igun bere mi ajare bere mi ajare koríko nkoto koikoto bere mi ajare koríko nkoto koikoto bere mi ajare koríko nkoto koikoto igun bere mi ajare bere mi ajare koríko nkoto koikoto koríko nkoto koikoto koríko nkoto koikoto igun bere mi ajare bere mi ajare koríko nkoto koikoto koríko nkoto koikoto koríko nkoto koikoto àmì wá orí dẹ̀là òru àwa oṣù ìyá má ìyá lọ ṣàgbàláwa dáadáa wo. àmì wá orí dẹ̀là òru àwa oṣù ìyá má ìyá lọ ṣàgbàláwa dáadáa wo. àmì wá orí dẹ̀là òru àwa oṣù ìyá má ìyá lọ ṣàgbàláwa dáadáa wo. àmì wá orí dẹ̀là òru àwa oṣù ìyá má ìyá lọ ṣàgbàláwa dáadáa wo. àmì wá orí dẹ̀là òru àwa oṣù ìyá má ìyá lọ ṣàgbàláwa dáadáa wo. àmì wá orí dẹ̀là òru àwa oṣù ìyá má ìyá lọ ṣàgbàláwa dáadáa wo. àmì wá orí dẹ̀là òru àwa oṣù ìyá má ìyá lọ ṣàgbàláwa dáadáa wo. àmì wá orí dẹ̀là òru àwa oṣù ìyá má ìyá lọ ṣàgbàláwa dáadáa wo. lékeleke wo ìyá ibẹ̀ wọ̀n ní àwẹ̀ wà wo. lékeleke wo ìyá ibẹ̀ wọ̀n ní àwẹ̀ wà wo. lékeleke wo ìyá ibẹ̀ wọ̀n ní àwẹ̀ wà o.
Lékeleke o, ìyá ibẹ̀ wọ̀ ní àwẹ̀ wà o.
Lékeleke o, ìyá ibẹ̀ wọ̀ ní àwẹ̀ wà o.
Lékeleke o, ìyá ibẹ̀ wọ̀ ní àwẹ̀ wà o.
Àwẹ̀ wúwo, àwẹ̀ wúwo, àwẹ̀ wúwo, àwẹ̀ wúwo. Lékeleke o, ìyá ibẹ̀ wọ̀ ní àwẹ̀ wà o.
Lékeleke o, ìyá ibẹ̀ wọ̀ ní àwẹ̀ wà o.
Lékeleke o, ìyá ibẹ̀ wọ̀ ní àwẹ̀ wà o.
Lékeleke o, ìyá ibẹ̀ wọ̀ ní àwẹ̀ wà o.
Lékeleke o, ìyá ibẹ̀ wọ̀ ní àwẹ̀ wà o.
Lékeleke o, ìyá ibẹ̀ wọ̀ ní àwẹ̀ wà o.
Àwẹ̀ wúwo, àwẹ̀ wúwo, àwẹ̀ wúwo, àwẹ̀ wúwo. Kàrèlé dúdú dáwà, kàrèlé ọ̀ṣun nìníyàwó.
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 Dúdú wálé,
Nìníyàwó,
dada kíbọ̀,
nìníyàwó,
ìgùn wálé,
nìníyàwó,
ẹ̀dù wálé.
nìníyàwó.
Ramadan ìṣẹ́rọ,
Ramadan ìṣòro.
ẹlùwáyé, ẹlùwáyé,
Ẹlùwáyé, ẹlùwáyé.
ẹlùwáyé, ẹlùwáyé.
Ẹlùwáyé, ẹlùwáyé.
Ìbò lélẹ́lẹ́lẹ́ sí yàmbá, lélẹ́lẹ́lẹ́lẹ́ sí yàmbá.
Ìbólélélélé sí àmbá, lélélélélé sí àmbá.
Ìbò lélẹ́lẹ́lẹ́ sí yàmbá, lélẹ́lẹ́lẹ́lẹ́ sí yàmbá.
Ìbólélélélé sí àmbá, lélélélélé sí àmbá.
Bó lélẹ́lẹ́lẹ́ sí yàmbá, lélẹ́lẹ́lẹ́lẹ́ sí yàmbá.
Ìbólélélélé sí àmbá, lélélélélé sí àmbá.
Aṣàbálàfẹ́,
Àṣẹfẹ́,
aṣàbálàfẹ́,
àṣẹfẹ́,
yé aṣàbálàfẹ́,
àṣẹfẹ́,
aṣàbálàfẹ́, yé aṣàbálàfẹ́, aṣàbálàfẹ́, yé aṣàbálàfẹ́, aṣàbálàfẹ́, yé aṣàbálàfẹ́, aṣàbálàfẹ́. Ojo kàmáwó kárèlé,
Ojo kàmáwó kárèlé.
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 ojo kàmáwó kárèlé.
Ojo kàmáwó kárèlé.
Sponsors for the Orisha way of life. Kamara's Culture Store, the #1 importer and supplier of genuine products from Africa, located at Adams Bazaar Main Road, Shogunas. Contact number 672-8438, 320-8866. Gossip Gel Polish, gel with a difference. Contact number 3827587. Come, let us take care of your feet, Petty by Risi. They also sell butters. Contact number 3984474. Nubian Experience, clothing that tells part of our rich African history. Number 6 Woodford Street, Arima. Contact number 6881979. Oriumi, Nico Loggins, Health and Wealth Lifestyle. Number 73 Eastern Main Road, Barataria. EMG out of Texas. Richie's Tire and Automotive Car Care Center. Number 409 Otello Drive, Hampton, Georgia. Sponsors for the Ifa Orisha Way of Life.
Also sponsored by the Throne of Gold for all your African supplies and clothing. Their contact number is 754-5128. That is the Throne of Gold. You can find them on Facebook and also on Instagram. Omo Inu, All Things Woman. For all your Yoni products, they are the sole women's haven distributor for Trinidad and Tobago. Their contact number is 365-4332. You can find them on Facebook and also on Instagram. Black Tie-Dye Catering Service, 683-8755. You can find them on Facebook and Instagram. Awo Wabande Tonic, 388-4606. You can find them on Facebook and also on Instagram. Ile Josio Turameji, Awo Oshun. Thank you.
You know, Baba Mikey, in a time like this for this COVID-19, really making its mark on the face of the earth, we have to really call on our ancestors, the Orisha, but two Orisha that really come to mind that we should give salute and reference to is, you know, Baba Erile, Ajaja as the healer, and Obaluaye Shokpana as, you know, the one who is capable of giving and taking away diseases. You know, where's your thoughts on that?
Well, you know, he's a great man, a great spirit, a great Orisha. You know, on earth, which is Father Earth then. You know, that is a man, you very seriously, when you're dealing with him, you have to know what he's about in this life, you know. Like diseases, that is the man you call upon. So all sicknesses, you know, plagues, to heal, to destroy, from distressing people, you know, having people lame, you know, you can't walk, you know, all these things, you know, that is the man you call upon. Babaluaye Shokpana. You know, ask him to take away all these sicknesses and plagues from around about on earth. You know, because it's a very serious thing. Look what's going on today.
People dropping down.
How many already passed? When people not serious too, we have to get more serious.
That's right.
You know? Yeah. We just saying, and you know, even self the ones who trying, there's fight down. They're fighting them down. Which is that I ain't seen no progress in it.
Erile. We can't forget how they relay, you know, Erile as the Orisha that could cleanse our land, could cleanse our bodies. He's the hunter, he's the one of the main Orisha of the forest.
He breaks up the whole entire universe.
Right?
Ajaja
Erile. He have knowledge. That Orisha has knowledge of all the herbs in the forest as well. Similar to Osain, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Alright. Now this is a serious thing. Because people just say Eile is a Jaja. Eile is not a Jaja. Male and female. Eile is the one with the boa. And Jaja or Aja is the one with the dagger. There's a twin spirit. Male and female. So when Eile is there, you say Eile, Baba Eile. And when Ajaja is there, you say Yajaja.
Right. Correct.
And this is the spirit, you know, you call for cleansing. You know, even sicknesses and all. Mm-hmm. Herbs. Things to drink. To clean the inside.
Clean your inside out, eh?
Yeah. Bath. Not remembering Babaluaye Shakpana. That is a man to really deal with and very much seriously, especially in this time. Got too much plagues upon earth and more to come. and more seriously than it is today. And what we ever know of today, it overstayed.
True.
It overstayed. We now knowing of this. It have beyond and beyond that. So this is where the Orishas is important, because they know the future, the present, and the past. Them is our guidance. Within everything upon earth, them is the guidance to us.
Right, so let us continue to call upon our Orisha and the ancestors and pay particular attention to Obalua Yeshokpana, who's under that aspect. Yeah. And Irile Ajaja. Ashe?
Ashe. Ire and Ashe.
Shokpana tele me langwe, Ariwo, tele me jogbe, tele langwe, siwo lolo ye.
Shokpana tele me langwe.
Ninia, shakutu waloloye. Ninia, sapana, shakwoti alo.
Ninia, shakutu waloloye. Ninia, sapana, shakwoti alo.
Yeah, ninia, boziwa, shakutu waloloye. Ninia, sapana, shakwoti alo.
Ninia, shakutu waloloye. Ninia, sapana, shakwoti alo.
Yeah, karankarawo ya. Karankarawo, sapana, karankarawo.
Jambeko erile Olórìmọlẹ̀ bàbá rẹ̀bá Olórìmọlẹ̀ bàbá sèké Olórìmọlẹ̀ bàbá erile kọ́ Yé ajájá o Ajájá o Erile erimọ̀lẹ̀ Àjàrò mi kọ́ bíbọ̀
Omiawa ibajani Ibaba shishe oshunshile Omiawa ibajani Ibaba shishe agbatani Omiawa ibajani Ibaba shishe oshunshile Omiawa ibajaniye Ibabo shishe agbatani Omiawa ibajani Ibabo shishe oshunshile Omiawa ibajaniye Ibabo shishe agbatani Omiawa ibajani Ìbàbọ̀ ṣiṣẹ́ Ọ̀ṣun ṣílẹ̀, omi àwa ìbàjàníyẹ. Ìbàbọ̀ ṣiṣẹ́ àgbàtání. Omi àwa ìbàjàní. Ìbàbọ̀ ṣiṣẹ́ Ọ̀ṣun ṣílẹ̀, omi àwa ìbàjàníyẹ. Ìbàbọ̀ ṣiṣẹ́ àgbàtání. Omi àwa ìbàjàní. Ìbàbọ̀ ṣiṣẹ́ Ọ̀ṣun ṣílẹ̀, omi àwa ìbàjàníyẹ. Ìbàbọ̀ ṣiṣẹ́ àgbàtání. Omi àwa ìbàjàní. Ìbàbọ̀ ṣiṣẹ́ Ọ̀ṣun ṣílẹ̀, omi àwa ìbàjàní. Ìbàbọ̀ ṣiṣẹ́ àgbàtání. Omi àwa ìbàjàní. Ìbàbọ̀ ṣiṣẹ́ Ọ̀ṣun ṣílẹ̀, omi àwa ìbàjàníyẹ. Ìbàbọ̀ ṣiṣẹ́ àgbàtání. Omi àwa ìbàjàní. Ìbàbọ̀ ṣiṣẹ́ Ọ̀ṣun ṣílẹ̀, omi àwa ìbàjàní. Ìbàbọ̀ ṣiṣẹ́ àgbàtání. Omi àwa ìbàjàní. Ìbàbọ̀ ṣiṣẹ́ Ọ̀ṣun ṣílẹ̀, omi àwa ìbàjàníyẹ. Ìbàbọ̀ ṣiṣẹ́ àgbàtání. Mọ̀rọ̀ mi máa, mọ̀rọ̀ mi máa yọ, mọ̀rọ̀ mi máa yọ, mọ̀ bá dọ̀ yẹyẹ o. Mọ̀rọ̀ mi máa, mọ̀rọ̀ mi máa yọ, mọ̀rọ̀ mi máa yọ, mọ̀ bá dọ̀ yẹyẹ o. Mọ̀rọ̀ mi máa, mọ̀rọ̀ mi máa yọ, mọ̀rọ̀ mi máa yọ, mọ̀ bá dọ̀ yẹyẹ o. Mọ̀rọ̀ mi máa, mọ̀rọ̀ mi máa yọ, mọ̀rọ̀ mi máa yọ,
funa o ni wa ma se tavano shile ku funa o
Yeah.
òrìṣà rógbó ìmọ̀lẹ̀ òsáínù mọ̀júgbèrèlé Jésù lẹ́nìgbà
This is Wayne Johnson out of Brooklyn, New York. I always wanted.
So that brings us to the end of the Orisha Way of Life here on the Street 919 FM. Yours truly, MC Duke. My co-host, King Shaka, to leave, due to the COVID, as Ifa says, you must obey the law of the land. So continue pouring your libation, your salutations, and continue going on the Mary to do what you have to do. Always pour libation for your ancestors. May we have a good week. May we have a prosperous week. May we have a blessed week. And remember, all things are possible once we do what we have to do. And remember the Orisha Way of Life each and every Monday on the Street 919 FM between the hours of 7 to 10 p.m. Yours truly, MC Duke, alongside King Shaka. See you guys next week Monday. Be safe. Be safe. Be safe. Odabo.
Bàbá ìlú wà lóye òní àwa.